Now, what should the main theme of the dawah be? What is the main thing that you're trying to get across now to the people through this dawah, this invitation?
Okay. Now, because like we're using da'wah as the general term,
Yeah.
The scholars say that your goal is to make people more knowledgeable or better worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
That's your goal, you know. So whatever it is that will get people closer to Allah azza wa jal, or have more knowledge of Allah or more knowledge of their religion. Now, if you want to use da'wah in the sense of talking to non-Muslims or calling people to Islam, inviting people to Islam, then here obviously you want to keep a specific message and a clear message that comes through when you talk. Because a lot of times when people give da'wah in that case where they're talking to someone trying to tell them about Islam, they just throw random bits of information at the person, hoping that something will stick or something might strike the right chord and then they'll become Muslim. And that's actually not the right way to do it. The right way is to have an idea. You want to take them through a thought process and explain it clearly. But you also need to find out, what obstacles they have, what other belief system they belong to, because that's your obstacle. You remove that, you present them with the oneness of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and you move from there. So it's got to be systematic and organized a little bit, not
scattered all over the place.
Absolutely not.
So the main thing should be the oneness of Allah.
Yeah, suppose I'm talking to a non-Muslim, then I want to start, first of all, I need to know who they are, right? If I tell you right now, Eddie, just outside this studio, there's someone who's not a Muslim, go speak to him. You cannot prepare your entire speech right here, right? Because you might plan, okay, I'm going to go outside, I'm going to shake their hand and give them a hug. Then you go outside and it's a woman. Yeah. There goes plan A, right? So you plan it based on the individual. So what if he's an atheist? You have the atheist speech ready for him, right? What if he's someone who believes in Trinity? You have the Trinity speech ready. What if he's someone who is a Hindu? You've got the Hindu speech ready. And what if he's someone who just has no religion and says, like, tell me about Islam? Then you've got the speech on Islam prepared. So that means you prepare your talk based on the individual. You don't have a prepared, rehearsed speech and you just give it to anyone you meet, right? And this is what the people need to understand, that the da'iyah, because da'wah, there's so many variables, the da'iyah has to be malleable, has to be flexible. And you have to be able to adjust and based on the situation. Right? And there are many situations that you run into and you find you need to adjust your talk. You keep adjusting the talk. And one time I was talking to a man, and he had his child with him. He was a young boy, maybe 8, 9 years old. But it was very important for this father to show his son that he's a man. So every time I spoke to the father, he kept telling me, you're talking to both of us, right? He wanted me to look at his son. So now I had to adjust my whole speech. I had to keep looking at him and spending a lot of time looking at this kid, So it's not something that I would have been used to or put in mind before, but I had to now adjust my speech to satisfy that. So basically you have to be flexible, you have to be malleable, and you have to go with whatever is the situation, the problem the person has. Some people have different problems. This person will believe everything you say, but I don't like the issue of divorce in Islam. Or I will believe everything you say, but there's a specific obstacle that I have. Or I'm ready 100%, but my mother is not ready for me to. So then you have to come up with solutions.